Hello, Journal Goddesses. It is Wednesday, and that means it is time for our weekly Oracle check-in. I, of course, am Dionne, the Tea Priestess. Let's get started by just giving your body some love, checking in, taking a nice deep breath, slowing way, way down, and you might even need to move around a little bit to make yourself super duper comfy. Just giving your body some love, thanking your body for carrying you throughout your day, wherever your day finds you when you are watching this. And then checking in on the elemental realms. How are you doing physically? How are you emotionally? How are you doing mentally? And how are you doing energetically? And of course, how are you doing spiritually? Giving yourself permission to just be in this space with me and with everyone else who is watching. Thank you so much for being here. And if you notice anything swirling and twirling like it's pressing at you and needs your attention right this second, give yourself permission to pack that up and set it outside of our space and unpack it as you are willing and able or not. I am super glad that you are here, always super glad that you are here. And I love doing that check-in, don't you? I just feel like it really sets the tone for just giving your day a rounded experience. I always check in the morning and give myself space to be with myself and just kind of notice how I'm doing so that I can set the tone for my day. And so that's why I like to do this practice with you. Anyway, today I wanted to play a little bit differently with the Oracle cards. I came across a book this weekend while I was hanging out at Barnes & Noble. No plugs here, but that's where I happened to be. And I found this book called Journal Sparks. And let me see, I want to make sure I get the name right. Journal Sparks, Fire Up Your Creativity with Spontaneous Art, Wild Writing and Inventive Thinking. And this book is by Emily K. Neuburger. And it was really, really cute. It's kind of geared towards kids, teenagers, young, not really even young adults. I would say probably from about 4th or 5th grade up. But I like to look at those because sometimes looking at things the way that we explain it to a kid sometimes sparks different things in me. So one of the exercises or one of the ideas that she had in there was tiny poems. And I want to do a tiny poem with you. So basically the instructions are to pick a word. And I thought, wow, let's just pull an oracle card. So today I've pulled the card Transformation. So that's our card. And then she says to ask a friend or a family member to give you a number in between 1 and 30. And so I went and got looked at a random number generator online, and I put that parameter in and came up with 18. And then she says, write a tiny poem using that subject and that amount of words. It can rhyme or not. It can make sense or not. Use as many feelings, as many descriptions as you can. So I thought, why not? So we are going to write 18 words on transformation. It doesn't necessarily have to have a poetic structure. Just let yourself go. So transformation and 18 words. And because this is something a little bit differently and creative, I'm actually going to use, I found my gel pens. I'm so excited. So I'm going to use some sparkly my sparkly gel pen today, because sometimes poetry looks fantastic with sparkly gel pens. Just something fun and creative to get the juices flowing. All right, so I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes here to work with that, and just whatever flows. And if you find yourself just kind of sitting there with your pen on your chin, that's okay too. Allow yourself that space. Okay, and obviously if you need more time with this, pause the video, give yourself some time. I'm going to share what I did. Because at first, I can't help it, I'm a little geeky, so when I pulled the card transformation, the first thing I thought of was robots in disguise, the Transformers, right? So I said, transformation feels like metal scraping on metal when I resist it, but looks like a flower bud finally opening. Like that. So that was for me. And I hope that helped you as well. You could just write transformation in the middle of the page and then write 18 words around it when you think about transformation. I love, and then put those into a poem, or just write sentences. You know, that's pretty much what poems are. They're just a bunch of sentences strung together that kind of are on one topic. You could give your poem a title. You could not give your poem a title. I could totally see getting a 20-sided die, or I don't know, do they come in bigger sizes than that? I know, I don't game, but I know I have at least a 20-sided die around here because of another exercise that I was doing with that 20-sided die. But you could get like a die. You could just use your a random number generator online for yourself. Pull that up. I think this is a really helpful tool. I know myself personally, I've been struggling a little bit trying to force myself to write a page or pages and pages, and I some of that comes from doing the morning pages and having this rigid structure for my journal, but I've noticed that when I try and force myself into this kind of rigid structure of journaling, that's when I resist it the most. And that's also when I find myself censoring in my journal. So allow it just to unfold. I like sharing these things so just to give you ways to stay juicy and to keep your journaling practice juicy and full of sauce for you. And who knows, if you write these little tiny poems, then maybe it'll trigger something else and you'll start to make a connection with a tiny poem with something else that you have been working on or you're trying to work through in your life. I hope this has been helpful for you. Excuse me. I hope this has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. What are some of the things that you like to do when you feel like your zest for keeping your journal practice is starting to dry up? I'd love to hear more ideas of how to keep your journal practice and your oracle practice too juicy and flowing. I will see you next time. Take care, be good to yourself, and see you soon. Bye-bye.